Now at 5, why the circus is staying in Joplin longer than originally planned. Plus, some kindergarten students in Carthage get a chance to learn about other cultures. And
a key senator on the Foreign Relations Committee faces federal corruption charges. I'm Willie James Inman on Capitol Hill with the details involving New Jersey Senator Bob Menendez and his wife.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
After 2 weekends of shows, the Mexican do Portugal circus extends its stay in Joplin. This is KOAM News at 5. I'm Tanya Bach. The 25-person crew will now be in the city until October 1st. This is their first time in Missouri. They've toured multiple countries and promised to perform a show that will leave people on the edge of their seats.
I can't even watch it because my palms start to sweat. I get really nervous, you know, and that's our show, what it's about. It's about the excitement and, of course, a little bit of laugh with the clowns, but mostly excitement.
You never know when the bike is gonna have a failure because it's a engine, so.
Well, the brothers Aldo and Israel Portugal are the 5th generation of circus performers in their family. We'll learn more about their story tonight at 6. Well, some kindergarten students in Carthage today got a taste of other cultures. 4 international students from Missouri Southern stopped by Columbian Kindergarten to talk about what their home countries and cultures are like. Officials say it's a good way for the kindergartners to learn more about the world.
So earlier this week, kids brought in food from their home culture for their friends to try out. And then we also know that Missouri Southern has an international focus, and so we thought what better way to combine the two than to ask some students to come in and talk to our kindergarten about their cultures and what it's like for them.
For the discussions, each international student was set up in a different spot in the room, and the kindergarten students rotated around. Well, rock hounds are flocking Joplin for the 24th annual Rock and Mineral Show. The Joplin History and Mineral Museum is hosting the event. People are able to crack geodes, identify rocks, and check out some handcrafted items.
We just have a lot of things going on. We're going to have one vendor is going to be showing how to facet stones. The table I'm standing right in front of here, they crack geodes. You know, you start with just what looks like a rock and you open it up and there's just fabulous treasure inside.
The show continues tomorrow from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Then again on Sunday from 8 to 3. Well, Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty is joining us. It's been a busy day.
Yeah, we had a lot of showers and thunderstorms through the morning hours, some heavy amounts of rain again, which we definitely need. And then a little bit of sunshine this afternoon. Temperatures have warmed up, mainly upper 70s, pushing 80 degrees. But look at the rainfall, pretty widespread. A lot of areas picked up quarter, half an inch, upwards to an inch. And then we had a bullseye, eastern parts of Jasper County, where there was 3, 4, 5 inches of rain. All this rain has spread out of here, so it looks pretty good at this point in time, pretty quiet as we go through the evening hours. So let's look at your football forecast. 75 by kickoff, 72 by the 4th quarter. So if you're heading out tonight to some high school football games, it looks pretty good. But we do have a severe threat as we go into the weekend. We're going to look at that here in just a bit.
All right, thanks, Doug. The country appears to be headed for a government shutdown. Hard right House Republicans last night blocked a vote on a bill to fund the Pentagon. Those on the right say they are opposed to a continuing resolution, which is a temporary spending bill that would keep government operations going. As a result, the White House is directing federal agencies to prepare for a shutdown. Congress has until the end of the month to pass a bill. New Jersey Democratic Senator Bob Menendez and his wife are facing federal corruption charges for allegedly accepting bribes. Menendez issued a statement denying any wrongdoing. Willie James Inman has the latest from Washington.
Federal authorities announced bribery charges against New Jersey Senator Bob Menendez and his wife, alleging the Democrat used his influence to benefit the government of Egypt as well as 3 Egyptian businessmen.
The indictment alleges that Hannah, Uribe, and Davies provided bribes in the form of cash, gold, home mortgage payments, a low-show or a no-show job for Nadine Menendez.
According to the indictment, the couple allegedly accepted hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of bribes from the three men. FBI agents raided the Menendez home in June of 2022, uncovering over $480,000 in cash, stuffed in envelopes and closets.
There are things that Senator Menendez says he can do for his constituents and things that he says he cannot do for his constituents. But we allege that behind the scenes, Senator Menendez was doing those things for certain people.
Officials also found a Mercedes-Benz one of the men provided to the couple.
The charges stem from a years-long public corruption investigation into Senator Menendez, who's the current chair of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee.
Really, the allegation here is that he abused the public trust, that he used this official position and he used it to increase his own bank account and his wife's bank account.
In a statement, Senator Menendez says prosecutors are misrepresenting the normal work of a congressional office, calling the claims against him false. He says he's confident the matter will be successfully resolved once all the facts are presented. Willie James Inman, CBS News, Washington.
Menendez was tried on corruption charges in 2017 and temporarily stepped down as the top Democrat on the Foreign Relations Committee. That trial ended in a hung jury. According to the rules of the Senate, Menendez will once again have to step down as committee chairman. Well, still ahead, a strike expands.
The strike against the nation's big three automakers expands. Thousands more workers set to walk off the job. I'm Chris Van Cleve in Wayne, Michigan. The latest is coming up.
And next in Health Watch, as the nation faces a blood donation shortage, we'll learn about one man who's donated 300 times. Topping today's Health Watch, Swiss scientists say they've made a breakthrough in treating spinal cord injuries. Researchers used a new type of gene therapy on paralyzed mice, which repaired spinal cord damage and gave them the ability to walk again. There are still many steps before the treatment can be used on humans, but doctors say the development is encouraging. Well, the American Red Cross recently declared a national blood shortage, citing a nearly 25% drop in the blood supply since last month. Now, blood banks around the country are hoping more people get the message and get out and donate. Sean Chitness introduces us to a California man who keeps coming back to save lives.
On a recent visit to the Vitalant Donation Center, Dennis Walter marked giving blood 300 times.
It saves lives. I mean, people that need blood need it now. So, and it's easy for me to do, so I do it.
He's been giving blood for 30 years. At one point, he was donating every 2 weeks. He can no longer give platelets, but still comes in once a month to give plasma.
Well, I've asked that question several times, and they say as long as I'm healthy, I can keep coming.
He says it's nothing to be afraid of and enjoys the experience spending an hour catching up on his favorite shows while in this chair.
I know it's helping somebody, and I know that whenever they need it, they can't go out and solicit it. It's got to be there. It's got to be on the shelf.
In fact, Vitalant has a goal of storing up to 4 days of blood on its shelves, but it's already seen that supply go well below that level this summer.
The need is constant. You know, as fast as people are donating, it's going out to hospitals. There's always somebody in need of blood.
So many donations over so many years has truly added up for the blood bank.
I've been very blessed in life, and I need to give back. This is one way to do it.
Dennis has likely helped to save thousands of lives and had an impact on many more family and friends grateful to see their loved ones survive. Sean Chitness, CBS News, Fairfield, California.
According to the Red Cross, someone in the U.S. needs blood every 2 seconds. Well, new research shows how a mother's immune system changes after giving birth. A study at Cincinnati Children's Hospital found after a healthy pregnancy, mothers keep immune suppressive T cells for years, which can reduce the risk of birth defects in future pregnancies. Doctors say the findings could help create new treatments for high-risk pregnancies. That's a look at today's health news. A little later, what the latest jobs report shows about the state of the labor market.
Plus, we have another round of potentially severe storms for the weekend. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, again, we got periods of showers and thunderstorms late last night through the morning hours. Some heavy amounts of rain, which we need. So we'll definitely take it. And then some sunshine has popped out during the afternoon hours. Nice shot. Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, of course, Indigo, just outside of Seneca, Missouri. All right, rainfall, about 3/4 of an inch at the airport in Joplin since midnight. For the month, about 3 inches. Look at that deficit. We're still over 10 inches behind. We're not going to really close that gap, maybe just a little bit, but overall, no. All right, with a little bit of sunshine, mid to upper 70s to near 80 in our western counties. It looks great. 7th and range line. Currently outside, 76. Southerly winds, kind of breezy at about 10 to 20. Visibility is great, and you can see those southerly winds kind of kicking in. These are actually going to increase a bit tonight and then into tomorrow with our next storm system, which is going to head toward us. All right, tonight's Friday night. It's Friday Night Lights. We got high school football. If you're heading out to some of the games, of course, Webb City's got homecoming this evening. A lot of areas have homecoming. We are going to have some clouds, but 75 at kickoff, 72 by the fourth quarter. So high school football is looking pretty good. All right, look at the storms driving through during the morning hours out of here over the past couple hours. So there's nothing going on right now. We're going to stay pretty calm as we go through the evening into the overnight hours. All those showers and thunderstorms are out of here. But here's our next wave. It's building Montana, Wyoming, Western High Plains. That's going to head toward us as we go into Saturday, and we have a good severe threat. Southeastern Kansas, or really the entire 4-state area. So this is mainly Saturday evening, a level 3 out of 5. Overall, I'm thinking 5 p.m. to midnight, high winds and hail. Tornado threat's a little lower, but we're going to watch it, but we're going to elevate hail, wind, and rain. So let's step through time. Through the evening hours, we look pretty good. Tonight looks good. Let's move all the way to the noon hour tomorrow. Sitting into the lower 80s. We're heating up as we get into the afternoon. Here's 4 p.m. We got a Pitt game at 2. We have Southern game also at 2. I think we'll squeeze these in, which is great. As we go through the evening hours, a random isolated shower could pop up. But here's 6 p.m. Now we're starting to watch out to the west to see what thunderstorms can get going. The initial ones in our far western counties, you are going to have a little bit of a higher tornado threat. But as these drive in, we're looking at mainly just wind and hail, good old storms that we're pretty used to. All right, so here's 8 p.m. Thunderstorms continue to drive in. Here's 10 p.m. So they get into southwestern Missouri by 9 or 10 p.m. But they also weaken as they drive through. But we are going to get some heavy amounts of rain, showers, thunderstorms lasting through the overnight hours into Sunday morning, and then we'll start to clear out just a bit. So another big night of showers and thunderstorms across the region. Ooh, my alert day is supposed to be tomorrow. I forgot to move that one day. So alert day tomorrow, not Sunday. Let's go 86 tomorrow, 79 Sunday, 79 Monday. So we do cool down, get some pretty good temperatures. Long, dry stretch. Nice fall-like weather next week.
Seems like we've got a lot of quantity of rain
this week has been really good, yeah.
We need it for catch
we
up.
Do.
Just not too much at once.
I know.
All right, thanks, Doug. Well, coming up, more United Auto Workers are going on strike. We'll see where the negotiations with the automakers stand. Topping today's Consumer Watch, thousands more auto workers walked off their jobs in factories across the country. This after the United Auto Workers president announced talks with 2 of the big 3 automakers are not progressing. Chris Van Cleve has the latest.
No wheels! At a Stellantis plant in Tappan, New York, UAW members walked out and picked up signs.
We'll be out here for days, weeks, as long as it takes.
There's some of about 5,600 workers from 38 locations across 20 states called on to join the UAW strike.
Reinforcements are coming.
Union President Sean Fain says negotiations with Ford are moving in the right direction, but that's not the case with General Motors and Chrysler parent Stellantis.
We will shut down parts distribution until those 2 companies come to their senses and come to the table with a serious offer.
The latest round of walkouts joined nearly 13,000 workers at 3 Midwest plants who kicked off the strike last week.
When you lose production at those plants, that's when things at General Assemblies go down. That's when, the whole system falls apart. So this is a huge escalation in terms of work stoppage.
Automakers have seized on what appear to be some leaked messages outlining the union strategy obtained by the Detroit News here in town that seem to indicate the union is planning for a long and costly strike.
In statements, both Stellantis and General Motors pointed to the leaked texts and questioned whether UAW leadership was ever interested in reaching an agreement in a timely manner. Still, both say they will continue to negotiate with the UAW in good faith. Chris Van Cleve, CBS News, Wayne, Michigan.
New claims for unemployment benefits tumbled last week to the lowest level since January. The Department of Labor says there were 201,000 initial claims for unemployment insurance for the week ending September 16th. That's a 20,000 claim drop from the prior week's level of 221,000. The latest tally is also well below what economists were expecting. We'll add Amazon Prime to the list of streaming services inserting ads into its programming. Starting next year, Prime will include limited advertisements in movies and shows. Amazon's change brings it in line with its rivals like Netflix and Max, adding ad-supported tiers as companies search for additional revenue. Customers who want to skip the spots can buy an ad-free tier for an additional $2.99 per month next year. Well, final check of the forecast is next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, how millions of Americans are bracing for Tropical Storm Ophelia. And then on KOAM News at 6, Ascension Via Christi says a third-party cyber attack compromised the information of some patients. Plus, we'll have more on the people behind the Do Portugal circus that's currently in Joplin. And it's time for Friday Night Football. Sports Director John Dales will speak with Nevada's head coach as they take on Mount Vernon. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. Well, as cities grow and wild spaces are turned into neighborhoods and parks, animals that typically spread seeds are disappearing. An industrial design student in London has created sneakers to help rewild nature while on a run, walk, or hike. Ian Lee reports.
A walk in the woods may be all it takes to start restoring nature. Kiki Grammatopoulos designed some fancy footwear to get on the right path.
The underneath is kind of a representation of a bison hoof.
Kiki drew inspiration from classic American animals like bison and wolves, known to spread a seed or two, and says her shoe mimics their movements.
One of my first prototypes was just covering my trainers in Velcro and seeing what was picked up.
After months of testing, putting different designs through their paces, she rested on one influenced by the catchy cocklebur.
It works really well in actually attaching things. I think at the moment it's maybe attaching too much when you walk around. It might get a bit heavy.
The process is called rewilding, helping nature take care of itself, especially as animals disappear.
Yeah, we can't bring bison in to London.
So Kiki imagines herds of humans spreading her idea.
It looks very futuristic. It's kind of cool.
Josie Klafkowska says if the spiky sneakers ever come to market, she'd wear them.
I mean, I can see there are a few bits caught on here already.
Kiki hopes her shoes catch on too.
If it means it's going to help the environment, then hopefully I get more people running.
Encouraging them to go the extra mile, not for themselves, but for Mother Nature. Ian Lee, CBS News, London.
I don't know why, but I could picture you in those tennis shoes.
Yeah. I mean, for the environment, sure, but they're, no. So.
Final check of the weather.
All right, tonight looks pretty calm, but we are watching for scattered thunderstorms tomorrow evening. Some of those could be strong to severe. That's why we have an alert day. Morning thunderstorms Sunday. Sunday afternoon looks pretty good. High temp, 79.
Well, thanks for joining us. The CBS Evening News is next. And of course, we'll be right back here for the KOAM News at 6. And we'll see you then. Have a great evening and an even better weekend.